Okay, this one's for Slider, and I finally got this to work. And boy, this was 4 days to try to get this to work. And this is this simplest levitator ever that you posted a video on. And How to Do is the inventor. And there's instructables, and I'll give links to all these different videos. And it's a very simple circuit for a levitation, electromagnetic levitation circuit using a Hall sensor and a MOSFET and a coil and just a few other parts, and then a 5-volt source. And it's extremely simple. I mean, it's like Slider said, it's almost like a jewel thief circuit. But I had 4 days worth of work to get this to work. I was using the wrong Hall sensor. I was using a linear Hall sensor like what's used on some of the other levitation circuits instead of a switching Hall sensor. And there's three types. There's a switching, a latching, and a linear. And on this particular circuit, you use a switching Hall sensor. The MOSFET, I had trouble with this MOSFET. I don't think I still have the right MOSFET for this. It called for this MOSFET, and I used an 730, I believe is what I used, in channel. But there it is working, and now it's stopped. Let me see if I can get this to go again. Very touchy. Let me see if I can get it to go. There it goes. It's very unstable. I'm using a USB power source and a little amp and voltmeter gauge to see when it's on, and then I used a radio here to help listen to it. And then I'll see if I can get this to go again here. Like I say, there were so many variables on this. Trying to get it to work was very hard for me. Hear the radio? And that's what mine sounds like. The little sign, the little paper sign, was actually part of the design. If you didn't have something hanging from the bottom of this magnet, it wouldn't work. And I tried other little things, and it just didn't stabilize it enough on my setup. Now, this has a ferrite core in the middle, like what Slider went to. He used a core, and by varying the core up and down, you can change the magnetic field to get this to work with the balance and the weight on the magnet. And without that little paper sign thing, this didn't want to work for me hardly at all. But I got it to go. It's, like I say, not a very stable levitation device, but it did work. And like I say, the original inventor was a guy who goes by the handle of How to Do on YouTube here. And I'll give links to his Instructable and his video, and then Slider's video. And then this is what I did, was I put a core in it, like what Slider did, variable core. And then on the part here, I eliminated the LED and the resistor, which How to Do says you can do, and then used a radio to listen for it triggering. And then this was the same on the diode. Instead of a 1N4007, I went into a 1N4148 switching diode. My Hall sensor is a switching Hall sensor. I don't remember the exact name on it, but this is what it calls for. It calls for this A3144 Hall sensor, and then this was the MOSFET that it called for, 1RFZ44N, but an in-channel MOSFET's what you use. But anyway, I got this to work. This is what it's drawing right now. It's drawing 100 to 130 milliamps, which is way below what the other guys were showing. And like I say, I'm just using a USB wall outlet power source. and that's my voltage and my amp draw. It does work. Like I say, I just had a lot of trouble with it. It was a 4-day deal. I was using the wrong kind of coils also. You really do need a variable inductor here. Otherwise, it's to try to get the weight right. Otherwise, you got to fiddle around with the weight on this to get this to suspend in the air like that. But that's what it looks like when it's running on my setup. And if you guys make a replication of this, put your name on a little sign. This is part of the deal that Slider mentioned. I think that's a real good way to replicate this this device. Here's my core. It's a ferrite core going up and down that coil. Like I say, there's the Hall sensor, my MOSFET, 1K resistor, and then this 1N4148 switching diode. And that's all the components. But like I say, unless you've got some time to spend on this little project, I don't really recommend it, to tell you the truth. It's not a beginner project. You've got to really understand a few things to get it done. And I've built, this is the third successful electromagnetic levitator I've built. And this was not easy for me. If you follow the instructions by how to do exactly, you should be able to get this done. But I didn't. I made my own path, and it was hard. Anyway, thanks for watching.